Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond, a show about reviewing horror movies for the living to understand the dead. I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and this is Shudderary, where we go behind the screens of Shudder original and exclusive movies. Today, I have two very talented and amazing guests. They host Girl That Scary podcast on the Dread Central Network. Kat and Jazz. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for
Hey,
having us. Hi.
How are you guys doing?
I'm still reeling from all the great releases from 2021, so I'm actually still having a good time.
I am happy to be breathing. And I am excited to find I've been really into like Sundance stuff because Sundance just happened. So I'm like, ooh, getting into these new movies. So
But thank you so much for joining me on Shudderary. I really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing and funny and beautiful. So thank you.
My heart.
so tell tell about a little bit about yourself. What do you guys do?
All right. Well, I'll take this one on. Hi, guys. Of course, as we said before, it's Girl That's Scary. We're a horror podcast. We do horror, sci-fi. We do shows, subgenres. We'll dive into a whole franchise. We just did Resident Evil not too long ago. That was a lot of movies, y'all. So we just hop across and talk about all kinds of things. We do spoiler-free reviews. We just really like to talk about horror. We just love horror. We just watch the movies and tell y'all what we think. That is our main thing.
Okay, okay. So you guys picked the Furries. Just have to remind people out there, I do not pick the movies from Shudder. All the podcasters, YouTubers, writers, anything outside of filmmaking, they choose their movie from Shudder. And you guys chose the Furries. So why that movie?
well, I will take this one, Jazz. It is a good fucking time, okay? You get gore, you get randomness because a bunch of random stuff that happens, but not too like random that's off-putting. Um, you get a fun nod or another fun rendition to a familiar story we kind of already know, sort of. And yeah, it's just fun. It's a bloody good damn time.
Yes, it really is. So we're about to get right into it. If you have not seen this film, please go over to Shudder and check it out. But before you do that, hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment later or now if you just want to. But please check it out. It is streaming right now. So if you're going to stick around, there will be spoilers. So we're just warning you. We're just warning you. So this movie came out, and I believe it was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it is an exclusive. And man, first when it starts off, it just looks like any other, horror film. Bunch of kids doing some, graffiti, playing around, talking to each other, cussing each other out, But then it turns into something very brutal, very gross. And I actually felt sorry for these group of girls. So, Kat,
Hello.
I'm gonna let you start this off. You give your what did you think? Like, what was the first, when you first saw it? Like, I need to hear from you.
Okay, so when I first saw this movie, it was a random stumble situation on the Shudder stream. So I actually came in not at the beginning, and then when I realized like what the hell was going on, I immediately shut it off because I wanted to know from the beginning. I can't remember if I saw this by myself for the first time or if I saw it with Jazz. Yep, there we go. And then so when we watched it all the way through, stressed, very stressed. Lots of like out loud. But sat through it, and I'm so glad I did. It's one of my favorite movies to just throw on in the background. And I know that sounds like, girl, what's wrong with you? We having a good time over here, baby. So I love pushing this movie on to people. And so if you've never seen it, like, I think everyone should see this at least once.
Mm.
Twice.
And
Well, Jazz said
Jazz?
twice.
Um, Kathleen, the way she found the movie, because she watched part of it and turned it off, she was like, "Hey, let's watch this movie. You ever seen this?" And I was like, "No, I've never seen that. I wonder what." You know how you go through the Shudder stream? There's so many titles, and you skip
Mm.
over some, and you make your selection. And I was like, "No, I kind of skipped over it. I don't know. I was like the little art. I don't know if I was into it." But then when we started watching it, I feel like I don't know if it's a cold open, but there's like a 2-3 minute open where they show somebody running around, and then you think it's gonna be the classic slasher, and then another
Mhm.
slasher come out. I was like, yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's the Rumble Royal for slashers. What's going on here? And I was like, oh, I'm into this. But then it cuts to the regular scene, and then you see what happens and how it unfolds. I truly had never seen anything like that before, and it's bloody, and the gore looks good. It's practical, like it's just so good. I just can't believe, and it's a tight movie. It's not like a long drawn out. It's like what 90 minutes
Mm-mm.
flat. And I love a 90-minute movie. It's the perfect ride. It's just good. I pressed it on my friends. I made them do a watch along on Clubhouse like a few weeks ago. Kat was there. Like, y'all want to watch this movie? And then you hear, what the scene I'm talking about that we're gonna get to with somebody's face. And you can just hear people going, no, please stop.
Yeah, this movie is wild. So the story about it's like a stranded it's like a strand some girls are stranded on some uh, in the middle of nowhere, an island. They never really clear exactly about that, but they are stranded. But it's like a battle royale type. You got to survive because something is trying to kill them. Some masked people that looks like if Jason had a bad makeover and it looked like Michael Myers and Leatherface. They were all in there with these weird masks. I thought they were masks at first until I looked at them. It looked like it's part of them a little bit,
Okay.
melted
Yes.
in.
For some people, I was just saying this today, like to my partner about this. I think for some of them, I think their faces are like a little disfigured or there's something going on there. But some of them, I believe they had like masks, like just, or they, we don't know what their face looked like, but I didn't feel like they might have had like a comprised face underneath the
Mm-hmm.
mask. There was also a guy wearing somebody else's face, so I don't really know.
Well, somebody was wearing someone's skin. It was tied to him from the back.
He played too
Like,
much.
yeah, so it kind of had like the leather face thing going on, but instead of the face, it was leather skin. It was carrying tied on it. I don't know. They were terrible. And then, like you said, they kind of battled each other in the beginning, like right when she was going to get some girl in the beginning was about to get killed. Her leg got messed up, and she's just like, oh no. And then all of a sudden, one comes in, and they start going at it. He killed him and then carried her off into the sunset. You're like, oh, the savior. Oh no. Not exactly. Not exactly. Um, was you about to say something, Jazz?
Yeah, you
Or
said savior, and I said, who they saving themselves when you get into the rules of what's really happening.
it really didn't give the rules either. They kind of have to figure it out. Now, there's something interesting about this that I had to look into the furries. So I was like, well, the way the movie was presenting itself, it felt like it's something deeper than that, something ancient, something that may have continued on. So I actually looked up the furries. It is actually were female chthonic deities of vengeance in ancient Greek. So this is ancient Greek. The furries are actually, Greek mythology, which I thought it was very interesting. So it kind of follows that. So there's one called, I'm not going to say their mythology names. I do not know how to say that. No. Um, but one is anger, one is jealousy, and one is an avenger. And if you think about the characters, Sheena, Rose, and Kayla, not Maddie, because Maddie kind of disappeared most of it. If you think about it, we have Sheena, who they met like in well, we're kind of too far. So wait, before I'm gonna stop there and we're gonna move on.
Girl,
We're gonna go because I think I'm jumping the gun.
you already stole my edges.
Yeah.
As soon as you said what you just said, I was like, you know what?
It makes sense.
I knew I was gonna laugh with you too. You guys are great. So we meet Kayla and Maddie under a bridge. There we go. Some kind of bridge or whatever. And they're having a discussion. They're arguing about, I don't want to take care of you no more. And then Maddie's kind of doing some graffiti and then spray graffiti on her shirt. See, I would have fought. I'd be like, girl, you crazy.
You can't even get that out. Like, girl. And then it stink. And now it's probably on my skin. And you know it's soaked through. What if it's on my bra? You know how expensive bras are? Girl.
I know. And what do you guys think of that relationship? What was going on?
It felt like, you know how teenagers are. Teenagers are like passive aggressive, or they wait, they're real passive, and then until the end, they're like, they just explode because they don't know how to really draw boundaries. So this person, Maddie, not this person, Maddie's probably like taking care of Kayla, just taking care because she just saw she needed help and then just kept helping her without, saying, hey, I can't help you, or this is what I can help you with, or saying, oh, I can't help you at these times, or maybe we need a community, so I'm not taking the brunt of taking care of you. But instead, she waits to go, well, I just can't take care of you, and whatever, you are scared of everything, and you don't try nothing. Boo. And I'm like, well, that's not really helpful. You're not helping her try anything, and you're being really mean. But then she called her a loser, and I was like, oh. And then she called her a coward. Anytime I hear someone get called a coward, that is such a strong, those are fighting words. How dare you call me a coward? Girl, we are about to square up. I'm about to show you who a coward. But I just put him up. Sorry. I just thought about Wizard of Oz. The Wiz, actually. But no, it's just like they're having this tumultuous friendship because it's not the same size. Like one of them is just a protector, and they feel like you're a baby and I just got to keep protecting you. I don't know what they're protecting them from. Well, you don't know until later on, and you see, oh, well, this is why they might need a little Kayla might need a little assistance sometimes. But it was still toxic. Girl, why can't you just draw boundaries and help your friend? Lord.
Or just unfriend her if it's too much. Just saying.
You're right. Well, then something happens. Maddie gets dragged away once she leaves her. Say, I don't want to be your friend anymore, and just kind of walked away. And then all of a sudden you hear screams in the background. Then, Kayla comes, oh, Maddie, where you at? And then she gets snatched up. They wake up in a bop, gets out of there. Now she's by herself. Kayla, we don't see Maddie. And then she meets up with the other two girls. And it gets wild from there. But at the same, Kayla has a condition. Was it epilepsy or something? Where she just kind of
had seizures. And for people who have seizures, I know some people who have seizures, they're different. Sometimes you stop. So like people always think of seizures as you're shaking violently to the side, but sometimes seizures just like you're stopping and you're not hearing stuff, you're kind of out of it, you're just still, and then you come to. And that's kind of what Kayla's situation is. Like she kind of goes dumb, like numb, and they're like snapping their fingers like, hey, and then she's just like this. But there's nothing that she can do about it. And then she doesn't have her medication, because I'm sure she can manage it, or she doesn't have the seizures as much if she's medicated and taking her medicine on time, which the people who kidnapped her didn't think about that. That's really rude. Don't kidnap me and not bring me my medicine. Come on, bro. Like, I got pills to take at 6 p.m. You doing way too much. How I'm supposed to run while I'm standing still? Like, come on, man. It's not my fault. I'm trying to live my life. But it happens immediately. You think, oh, well, this is gonna come to, she don't have her pills, she has a condition. This is gonna come to later. No, it happens almost within the next 2 minutes. She's like, well, yep, oh, probably from stress, because stress and all kinds of other stuff can help like trigger, something like that to happen. And the girl was like, hey, oh, well, she was like, peace up, A-Town down, I gotta go. She starts running, of course, because she has to. But now Kayla just on the ground like this. And I'm like, oh no, please. You're so concerned because you've already seen one person like almost get got. You see all these people running around. The other girls are clear, like, look, you got to get out of here. We are getting stabbed up. Like, it's not like, oh, we're trying to figure out, what's going to happen to us. No, you're in danger, baby. Baby girl, you in danger.
You in danger, girl.
And she's laying on the ground and no one's there to save her. But luckily for her, I feel like what happens to the other girl, I'm not gonna get into the rules yet because I feel like they don't reveal that until when she wakes up and realizes the girl who's with her is dead. And she's like, well, gotta walk around. And she does walk around this wasteland, island, rural area, mountains. I don't know where they are. Somebody's farm on the Great Plains. I don't know. They're going out where the buffaloes roam. And she goes out and there's all these sensors. And she can't go past them because they're making that same annoying sound that made her get out of the box. So there's like a boundary where you can't cross or it's gonna, torture you with sound and stuff. And at that point, she sees somebody walking up to her like, oh no, well, girl's running. And the girl's running and there's somebody chasing her and she thinking the dude go hurt her too. And nope, the dude is like, hey. First of all, let me tell y'all something. My soul would have left my body. I would have laid right on down and gave everything to God. I would have been like, yep, take me to the king immediately.
Yep.
Well, one thing about that, the eye. Now, when she goes into her state, for some reason, we see the perspective of whatever those monsters are that are killing. So I thought that, you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Resident Evil, Nemesis.
Yep.
Soon when I saw it, I was like, because even in that, she kind of see the perspective. Yeah, I thought that was pretty okay. Very familiar stuff, but man, those girls got messed up. The one that was running got her back all chopped up and
the girl that Jazz talking about, Alice, can we talk about her death and how it was just having like
oh, that's the one before. Is that the one with the face?
Yep, the one with the face.
That was pretty sad though. That was slow and just like the axe. I thought she was gonna make it. Like I thought something was gonna happen and she was gonna move out the way. The axe got in there and then it was just
I think Alice, okay, even though she had left Kayla on the ground and decided, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and save myself. I feel like if she wouldn't have went back and tried to take that axe out of the tree or the hatchet and just kept running, I think my sis would have made it a few more minutes in the movie. Like I think she would have, unless he would have threw it, but
yeah.
Well, then that's why you run zigzag because there was a lot of trees. Like she could have. People want to run straight. I wouldn't do that. I don't know.
No. And now she doesn't have a face.
That was pretty messed up, though. Yeah. That was pretty good, though. That was pretty good practical effects. It really looked like it took her face off.
Yeah, like Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, face off. I was so stressed. I was like, and then when they show you her face without the face, and it's just this meat and with eye holes, and I'm like, I know.
And they never took away the camera.
No,
like little bits and pieces it did, but when the face came off, you saw it.
And the way that the music started swelling, that and it's just like.
And I'm like, oh no, but I'm nodding my head like Jay-Z because I don't want to turn away. I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time. Oh my God, this is disgusting.
So then that goes back to Kayla and the other girl. I can't think of the other girl. Did I even get her name? We didn't even get her name. Did we get her name?
Her name, when she eventually
the one that got her back all axed out, like axed, and
is that
she put her in the no, that's not Sheena.
Oh, that's the other
Sally.
Girl.
Oh, Sally. It's Sally. Because remember she hit her in the trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
She put her in the trees or in the part of a tree and say, "Oh, you stay here," and covered her up. And I thought, okay, that's pretty clever. Maybe it'll work. But then they didn't realize they left a blood trail, led right to yeah.
Oh,
I thought she was going to make it. She wasn't making any noise or nothing. It was just a blood trail. And that poor girl's death was terrible. It looked like straight from Saw. Like he just grabbed her arms and pulled. That
Bruh.
was
Not you making the noise. Like I'm thinking he gonna stab her, and nope, he's like he literally puts her up against a tree and stands behind her and literally yanks her arms off. Who does that? What kind of person are you? Where you yanking her arm? That's not even like the easy way to take somebody out. That's strength. That is like now she's just sitting here with nubs, like because they didn't tear off at the shoulders, they teared off at like the sleeve right here, and she's just sitting there probably bleeding to death in a lot of pain, probably passing out from shock or whatever after already being stabbed in the back where she was losing blood. And even if they covered the blood trail up, she was still bleeding. So she probably would have made a pool of blood. I mean, I don't know if they can smell the blood. Some people, might be able to smell it in the air. I don't know what kind of people these are. I don't know how human they are.
Yeah, that was a slow death. That was terrible.
yeah.
But then Caleb tried to come back for her, and then that was it. She was gone. I thought she was still. That would have been messed up if she was still alive. Like she kind of looked up or had some kind of like screamed or shot. That would have been messed up. But I think by the time she got there, she was dead. That was terrible.
At least my sis Kayla was coming back to help. She was out of it for a second. She was trying to figure out what was going on. She tried.
Yeah, and I think that's a character arc because you meet her and someone's calling her a coward, but she met it's Jason, Leatherface, all their cousins is up in here jumping them and chasing them around the woods, okay? And she's running to save someone, like because I couldn't believe she got saved. The only she was trying to protect Sally at first, and then someone else ran up on the dude who was trying to beat Sally. And she was like, we can get out of here while they fighting. Let's go. That's the dude who had people's skin on his skin. He had it tied like a corset top. And I was like, wait a minute. Did you buy this from Hot Topic?
Girl, the front and the back.
He even had the butt on there.
But this is at the moment that we saw something interesting where the pigman type, his head exploded. So, but we still don't understand why. But we kind of get an idea, but it's still the rules and what's going on have no idea. But that happened when Sally died. Because when the guy pulled the arms, Kayla was already in a situation with the pigman, and then that's when his. So, first you hear like this loud pitch, and then his head explode. That was pretty cool though. I mean, it just did it right then and there.
It looked good.
Yeah, it did look good. What I really like about this film is that it's girls. They're all girls against these giant, nasty monsters. And which I like because you don't see a lot of films. It's always like a mix. It's never all girls, not really. Very rare. Like you rarely see that. What do you guys think of that? Like the dynamics of this film was these big guys against these, it seemed like defenseless girls.
I loved it. But also, I loved that the girl. Usually, when we have girls in horror, they are the girls. The boobs is out. They got coochie cutters on. Yeah. They be shaking a little tail feather. But no, these girls are just they got on regular clothes. They're not trying to be sexy or anything like that. They're just girls. They're just existing. Trying to stay safe. I loved that, and I also loved that they can work together because when you find out more of the rules, it's like really, if they come up with a plan together, they can really maybe not get out, but they can at least get away from most of the monsters. And you see later on them using that, using their brains, like, oh, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, and then this gonna happen. It's almost not like math. Well, kind of like math. They did the math. They did the logical steps. Like, okay, we see that. Later on, we find out that they're linked because but they don't know how they're linked. They don't know who they link to. They just get dropped off in the forest. Because after this part, she's still running and she finds more girls. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't, it's like, it's just endless girls. She's like, oh, it's like three more girls. And when she first comes in there, she almost, well, not almost, it
She
gets really
does.
tragic when we get to that part. But I love the dynamic and I love that they're not sexualized. They're just
Mm-hmm.
kicking ass.
Mm-hmm. That because we do meet them in a shed. Um, yeah, they were in there. Well, there was another girl, but unfortunately, when Kayla was in there, she was hiding with a machete, and the girl just kind of snuck up on her, and then she just like that was messed up.
I
It was, but I
mean,
wasn't mad.
her heart was in the right place. It wasn't on purpose. It was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to be brave. And she just happened to take somebody out.
That girl
Accidents
should have stuck up
happen.
on her. That
You're
that she
Yeah.
should
right.
have stuck up on her. That's like somebody. There's a movie where we're in a zombie apocalypse and somebody dressed up as a zombie. Y'all know what I'm talking about. To move
Mhm.
around and then they get killed because if somebody thinks they're a zombie, duh. Like why would you do that? You set yourself up. Don't be doing that. But it's the same situation where like you sneaking up, you could have been like, "Hey girl," she has a machete. She's not about to stab you from a far distance. Like you can be like, "Hey girl, you all right in here?" Or make a little
Mm-hmm.
noise, skittle around, like, "Hey, girl,"
Mm-hmm.
something. She just tiptoed and was like, and that's what you get.
Yeah. And then the two girls came in there, which is Rose and Sheena.
Mhm.
And they came in there and they found her, Kayla, with the girl that she accidentally, kind of,
Yeah.
chopped her. She was trying to save her. It was like, girl, she's dead. She's bleeding out. There's really nothing you could do. And then that's when Kayla had an idea about the whole eye thing. At that point, the monster she's seeing is her own monster.
Mhm.
So each one of them, if something happened, they can see. But I don't think they knew because they didn't have a condition like Kayla did.
Mhm.
So um,
Yep.
that's how they were able to connect is through the eye. Yeah,
She hacked the system.
yeah,
She did.
Truly. Truly. Also, as a
because
side
she had a
note,
condition.
right.
And it
Right.
being a strong.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I peeped, I think it was like later watches, but definitely did not want people in the first watch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Early on in the movie, when Kayla is walking away from her coffin bed contraption box, you can see on the side of the box, or I think it's somebody else's box, that it says beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was like, okay, it was right in front of my face the whole time. See what you did there, girl. Do we know if they're really their saviors? Because unless I missed something, I could have, because y'all know I be asleep. In the beginning, the first girl, then when you see her get carried away, and then like I'm not to jump too far ahead, but once we kind of figure out some or what we I don't know, I feel like I guess it's some folks, the way it ends up once we get that big reveal of what's going on, it's like, did she ever make it out anyways, or what happened to her?
It might have been a different game because he might have saved her that time because she was injured. She can't run. She broke that leg was broke at the beginning. Like it was gnarly, man. Um, Even if they weren't saving them, they're probably only saving them to save themselves for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah, because they would die too. But later when we do get some type of winner, they said prepare for the next game. So it's just a
Mm-hmm.
continuing on. So maybe for this one, even though she's injured, start the new game. And maybe because she was injured, she didn't make it. Who knows? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It was that was pretty messed up. But the creepy thing about this was Rose. I did not like Rose. That girl was too creepy for me. First she was like, I don't trust you, and then let's be best friends. What do you think of Rose there? She was a little.
of course she's like, I don't trust you. Are you gonna kill us? Girl, it was an accident. But then on top of that, she's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't like that kind of character. Although some people are like, some people fold under pressure. Everyone can't, just start running, especially when the pressure is mass killers stabbing you up or,
Hmm.
chopping your face off. That's some kind of pressure that people will crumble over. It's heavy. But she just gave the, I don't wanna, what am I gonna do? You're crying and stuff. I'm like, come on, stop doing that. Then it's like, oh, best friends. Then I'm jealous. I'm like, oh, please.
I know that was very weird character. And I think that's where these furries, like the whole the mythology, because the when I was reading, like, the anger was Sheena, because then she was thinking, oh, she's going to try to kill us. It'd be easier to kill you, because if we kill you, the creature or whatever it is head explode. Like, they kind of figured out how they were attached to each other. um, and and I think that was based on Kayla. Like, she was like, okay, this, if we do this and do that, and she's like, dude, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna try to do anything. I'm trying to, like, team up so we could get the hell out of here. Because I saw this map or whatever, and it was like, no, And then she became like, I'm going to get you or whatever. And then you have Rose, that's just creepy, confusing. She was like jealous because she Kayla kept trying to find her friend Maddie, and she was like, I thought we're friends. And that
Girl,
was
y'all just met.
I know, right? Like, it's like, why? That was so weird. That character was kind of out of place the way it was presented, but then I guess that would makes it creepier because she could have played a game before. We don't know much about what's going on. Not
She's a
really.
wild
Who
card,
knows?
honestly. Because we see what she
Mm-hmm.
does later, and it's like, ooh, you weren't supposed to do that. You were
Which
not
makes me
supposed to do
think,
that.
I think, like you said, Ivotres, I think this may not be her first time in the game. She very much gives like novice, like, I'm kind of scared. And then like maybe multiple things. Scared, and then kind of got into, was really, but all right, I know how to play the game once she kind of saw what was going on and used that
Mm-hmm.
to her advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Once we kind of, not to get too far ahead, but once Kayla is she reunites with Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
So we see how that plays out. Or she's fooling all of us and is doing this weird girl, I'm looking for a bestie, in this really scary situation. Who has time, girl? We dying. But looking for, and then she literally shows who she really is. She shows her hand once Kayla has goes through her situation, and then we really see what's going on.
Yeah, like, she really did a 360 with her attitude, like, or 180 or whatever it may be. She was doing some degrees where it got to the point where it was like, one point, this weakling, but then that's when you find out when whatever creature broke in and was trying to get her, because I guess she made a noise or whatever, but it wouldn't kill her. It had to see her face, because I don't think the monsters know exactly who's they're teamed up
Mm-hmm.
with, only based on their face, and then it's by memory, and then it's like, because I think he didn't want to kill whoever, then he ended up killing himself. But if you remember, she kept trying to hide her face. How does she know to do that? Because when
Girl,
she
I
pulled it
knew.
out, she just kept doing this, where other girls were just like wilding out, and she just kept trying to do this. And then that's when Kayla saw, oh, they need to see your face, just cover your face, because she saw her doing that. She kept trying to see her face, but I don't think Kayla kind of realized, well, that's weird that she is trying to hide her face. Like, how did you know to do that?
She
So I
been here
think
before.
I think she'd been here before. Because then at first she was like, why won't you tell her? Why won't you tell her, Kayla? Like, after she met Maddie, like, her attitude, like,
She was pissed.
tell her what you did with the other ones. Like, just throwing her under the bus. I was like, well, damn. I thought you were the
Okay.
shy girl.
Also,
Mm.
Maddie, let's talk about Maddie, y'all. Like, we already knew Maddie been sick of Kayla's shit. But even in this life crisis situation where we find Maddie and
Mm.
the girl's like, tell her what you did. And Maddie is still like, I can't believe you killed people. Maddie, girl, I know you see what's going on outside. Is this the time? We judging
Talk about you
today?
can
Like
kill
I
people.
know. I thought she was the tough one. No.
Hmm. And then you was talking all that stuff, and it turns out you are the one who couldn't handle it because you sitting here, yo whoever probably pulled you over, tucked you away so nobody could hurt you, and you being taken care of the way you used to take care of Kayla. And now Kayla came through and murdered her way up to there, not because she was murdering people. She only killed one girl by accident, and I think maybe the other one she kind of set up on purpose. But the other girl was kind of hating. And I mean, she kind
Yeah,
of could
she
have worked
kind
with
of.
her.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad for that because I saw the guy. I saw that whatever was coming up from behind, and I was like, okay. And she got messed up. That was a good kill though. That was a good kill.
oof.
Yes. Ooh. Just thinking about it, the kills just make your knees tingle a little bit. I was like, "Ooh, not my knees. Why are we doing that?" Because she does all this to find her friend, which I get it. But also, back to Kayla, because Kayla looking for Maddie the whole time, and no one else knows Kayla or Maddie or the relationship, and she's just like trying to recruit everybody else. I'm trying to find my friend. Come help me find my friend. And I'm like, girl, why would they help you find your friend? You lucky if they help you by yourself. Why are we going out of our way to find your friend to do what? To do what? We don't even know if we can get out of here. A bigger group, a bigger target, mama. Like, what are we doing?
Like, how would you guys go about this? Would you go against each other, or you kind of work together?
Okay.
Okay.
Jess, you want to go first?
Okay.
Because I feel like our
So
answer going to be
we both
relatively
was
the
like,
same.
okay. Here's the thing. If we had met up in the shed, right? Say I'm in the shed, I'm Kayla, I accidentally
Hmm.
kill somebody and Cat and somebody else stumble upon me killing somebody by accident. I'm like, look, I didn't mean to do that. I feel like Cat would, even if she believed me or didn't believe me, I feel like she would like, well, that's not important now because there are monsters outside and we have other fish to fry. Like we can worry about who's going to jail for a first degree, second degree later on because we might not even make it out of here. So you can take that up with your maker, whoever you pray to, if you pray to anybody. Take that up with the afterlife, okay? Because okay, she's dead. There's nothing we can do for her. You didn't mean it, and I mean, it's not like you just out here attacking. She did sneak up on you. She kind of asked for it. Also, you prove later that you're not trying to hurt them because you do have a weapon. If you wanted to kill you, she could have. Like, I don't really understand what's going on here, but I feel like Kat would have been like, "Ooh, that's wild. So let's get out of here." So let's get out of here. Or if I met her when I first came out, if I would have like went out, Kat would have ran, but I also would have ran also because there's nothing I can do. If I sit here with you, we're both dead.
I wouldn't have ran around asking everybody had they seen Jazz. Y'all know who the hell Jasmine is. First of all, I don't even know if Jasmine is here. So I definitely would have walked in on, random person who was Jasmine murdering the other girl, or it's me, I'm the murderer. So everybody walk in and they'd be like, "Oop, you killed her." And I'd be like, "Damn, that's crazy. I'm sorry she snuck up." Um, I think I would be on the same type of time Kayla is. Actually, honestly, I might have opted to die because Kayla, I can't take my eye out. I truly cannot. When this first posed as a situation like in Saw, where they had the key behind the eye, I'm like, well, I would have
Hmm.
died, baby, because you think I'm taking my eye out for you? Don't think so. I would have found a way to get chopped up or blown up or electrocuted. So Jasmine actually is the winner. She actually comes out on top because you think I'm not taking my eye out. Maybe she could take my eye out for me because I can't do it myself.
I would have tried
That's
maybe if
that's
you
an
would let
option.
me. If I knew it was behind the eye, which they figured out because of the dead girl, after we would have got loose, I would have took the eye out, or we could have maybe, if we killed one of the things, take its mask. It can't see our face. It can't kill us, or mask your face up. Leaves, dirt, mud. Um, tied a little cut your shirt tied around your nose and mouth so you can't really recognize the face. That would be a thing. I also told y'all that my soul would have left my body, so my beast would have been dead. That one less beast for y'all because my soul has floated up. It's just, y'all have ever seen that little Winnie the Pooh meme where it's Winnie the Pooh just floating into the air? It's me. That is my soul. I'm gone, fading out.
Because now I'm sitting here thinking about this, and I'm just like, you take my eye out, and I'm supposed to take your eye out? How am I do that? Girl, we dead. You might as well just go on without me. Sacrifice me so you can make it to the end, because you know I ain't got the time. I'm so serious. Are you about to fight the person? I know you're not either, girl.
Because I'll definitely be like, sacrifice me, make it quick. Stab me in the head real quick. Go ahead. I just close my eyes. Y'all. As long as it ain't slow.
Yeah, that is a pretty tough situation to be in, especially young. Like, they were kids. That's a really tough, asking a lot for these kids, and then you realize they are pretty tough, and they started going against each other. Well, I don't know about Rose. She kind of got really jealous, and then when Kayla found her friend, it was like, oh my God, and then Rose decided to just like tell on her, and just to be friends, slice Maddie's throat,
ruthless,
while Kayla was in her state.
What a time.
I saved you because the monster was coming back. So is she right? Did she save her? And then of course she modeled that behavior because Kayla did the same thing. She let somebody else die so that, Rose could make it. So Rose saw that, or maybe Rose already had it in her head, because she might be like the Joker low key. We don't really know. She's not really good. But she was like, I saved you. Look, like you you ain't have to do that. Y'all could have literally worked together and pulled me away. And went to the room or anything like that. Anything.
Or I could just steal your friend.
There was something I did notice about Rose, because when she did slice her throat and then one of the monster's head explode, she kind of smiled. She kind of had like a little smirk on her face. So she knew what was up. And then she just like drops the knife and runs. Like, if there's more creatures out there, if there's more anything out there, why would you drop the knife? I think she's been there before.
Yeah, I think she's done this a couple times.
Because there was no monsters left at that point. They were all gone.
She's done this a couple times, because at this point it's just her and Kayla, or whoever is left. And I think Kayla's monster was dead, right?
Yeah, Kayla killed her own. Yeah.
So that's how you knew she was real.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy. And then Kayla decided to leave after a while, and when she got to the point of like walking past those detectors or whatever, and then she stood there and she just dug her eye out and threw it on the ground, and I was like, maybe she didn't have to do that, because maybe they thought she was dead because she killed her own. Well, she ends up at this house, but we see this guy on a virtual reality. That was weird.
Stank.
Okay. I thought he was, and then you could see him watching the video previously. So a video game? This was a video game VR, or they just lay there and watch it?
I'm ready to burn his house down.
It's VR snuff is what it is. And it reminded me because of like Hostel 3 and stuff, or Hostel, where they be like, oh, you in here watching this? I'm about to, square up with you. What are you doing? Like, because there's somebody out there who's paying top dollar to watch people get slaughtered on camera. And that is wild. Because what are you supposed to say to God? What you supposed to say? You think you can just do this without consequence? Somebody go get you.
Girl, they're gonna bring that VHS player, and that they're gonna wheel that TV and the VHS thing down that hallway on Snake Way, and they're gonna watch you on the camera from the VHS, you watching yourself watching the virtual reality, and they're gonna lean in and be like, now you know.
Get on the elevator, go down.
You already know. I don't even gotta say nothing. The video is just playing as soon as you come in the room. They already started your tape.
That's you in customer service in heaven. Talk about something. Can I get in? They like,
now you know
this.
And then after we figured out that there's all, to me it feels like shareholders, the founding members and all this stuff. People are paying to see people just kill themselves or be killed. Now, the weird part for me is Kayla showed up. How does she know? How does she know he was there? So she just walked and walked with her eye out and then just found this house. Like, I that confused me. I don't know. Maybe did you guys notice anything, or how she ended up there and know it was him and torturing him, and then you see her talking to him, and then you see her friend Maddie, because she looked like she went crazy for a minute. Like I don't know. It kind of turned too much for me, and I probably missed them. Did you guys see anything? I don't know.
I don't think there was anything. So after she left, and then we see what the guy or what he's doing, and then she pulls up
Mm-hmm.
on him. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that just happened off camera and off screen, like in between. Honestly, you can't even really tell how much time has passed. Like, has it been a few days? Has it been a few weeks? Has she just been gone home, got to the computers and got them putin, and then pulled up and found his house? Like,
Did she go to the dark web and look him up? Because clearly, one, her eye is more healed. So this is not her fresh from the place. She got on
Mm-hmm.
new clothes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she had probably went home, showered, did something to. I put peroxide. I don't know what you do with that. What do you do? You just sew it shut? I don't know. She did something to her eye, and she may have done some research, talked to some, and I don't know who would talk, because that seems very like, who did you find? Even on the dark web, did you like sign up like you was about to be one of the people paying, and you found somebody and then pulled up on them? I don't know. Because even, or maybe in one of her, well, after she took the eye out, I don't think the states would matter because she wouldn't see anything. I'm like, did you see some names on the computer screen when you was out one of them times and be like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Jonathan something?
That threw me completely off. That whole scene with him, it felt like it was thrown in because it just didn't. It felt like a whole, like you said, like a whole days, weeks, months is missing, and then she just knew exactly where he was. I want to know everybody's involved. Her ghost friend Maddie is sitting over there. I mean, it was just that I thought would have been a valuable asset to know, or part two or something, because I wanted to know what the hell, how she get crazy, how she find the house.
Cause she pulled up
I
on
don't.
him like ghost, like literally like ghost from the Book of Power. Like, hello, I'm here. I'm in your house with a hoodie on. You thought it was sweet. It's not, and you're gonna give me what I want. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They just was like, haha, I'm supposed to fill in the blanks. That's what you're filling in the blanks here.
Yeah, that was. I thought I missed something because I was looking at. I was like, okay, maybe I missed a whole scene, and I went back and I was like, maybe I got the super edited version of Shudder. There's a whole thing gone. What happened? But
It just
okay,
won't
you guys
dare.
saw the same thing. Okay,
no, yeah, it
okay,
was a choice.
that was a little weird. Okay, overall, what did you guys think about this film?
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Any of your favorite kill?
Hatchet face.
That's
It's
the
just
one.
something like, it's the one, like, your
Not from
first, like,
Crybaby. Not from Crybaby.
no, although hatchet face, you're beautiful, baby, love her. It's the first kill like we fully get to like witness like the whole thing. So when you're first watching this movie, you're like, all right, this is clearly something shaky, I don't know. And then the music swells, da-da. You're like, all right, well, are you going to turn the music down? Because as they take it at hatchet, it's like someone keeps going like this with the volume, like, let me just really mess you up today.
Mm-hmm.
I love how, like, if imagine this is, I think this is the part that I woke up on and was like, let me cut this shit off. I didn't know what this was. But I feel like as a viewer going into this movie, as someone who really rocks with like the shakiest of shaky to a certain extent horror, like this really is where the movie takes off and gets running. Like, we are on a marathon at this point, ain't shit sweet. and everyone is up for grabs, and that's why I love it.
I love it. It's bloody. I love a bloody good time. I love a good kill. I like that the girls aren't out here showing boobs and bush for no reason. We're just out here really trying to, because listen, I watch a lot of movies, especially from the 80s, and maybe it's a slasher, but then all of a sudden somebody got to take a shower, and we in the shower for like 10 minutes. I'm like, the movie's only 80 minutes. What's going on? Like, girl, I don't need to watch her. She ain't even using a washcloth. You come on, please. Um, I just really enjoyed it. I thought the story was creative. It took a new take on slashers. Like, oh, it's like freeze tag, but for slashers, but not freeze tag. It's Beauty and the Beast freeze tag slasher, something like that. Slashers are always fun, but I'm tired of the camp. It's a camp and someone's out here to get you versus no, it's a bunch of people out here to get you. And this one can't get you, but these people can. And it's a game, but it's a brutal game. I feel like I like dark dark games, but it's just fun. I had never seen anything like it before, although I've seen these slashes, and yes, they make the references because that guy looks like Leatherface, that guy looks like Sackhead, Jason or whatever like that. The face mask, but it's not Michael Myers, but it's someone's weird face. It's in color, it's strange. But I loved it. I loved it. Now that character, Rose, was a little shaky and she got on my nerves. But sometimes people do things that get on your nerves. You can't have all characters that you like everybody. So I'm not that upset about it, but I really like how it went. I like the character arc for Kayla also. Like, she came in, I don't know what to do, and she really came out a survivor, and I'm not mad at it.
I have to agree with that. But I have to say thank you, girls, for joining me on Shudderary. So, where can people find you guys?
Yes, y'all can find it. First of all, thank you for having us. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for doing Shudderary, because this is such a good time. I love tuning in and checking out all the stuff you're talking about other people. But you can find us at Girl That's Scary, www.girlthatscary.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Girl That's Scary. Basically, if you throw Girl That's Scary into your Google machine or whatever you use on a search engine, you're going to find us.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you guys love this video, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. More Shudderary videos are on its way. So until then, make sure you follow these girls. They're awesome. Yeah, they're funny. They're awesome. They know their stuff. There's nothing else. They're great. They're fabulous.
She's slowly rising to heart.
I know. So until next time, you guys, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.